السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم أبنائي وبناتي طلاب الصف الثاني الثانوي. مرحبا بكم، معكم مستر حسام حسن، منصة البث المباشر وزارة التربية والتعليم، مع تحياتي وتحيات فريق منصة البث المباشر. نبدأ مع بعض اليوم حلقة ريفيجن في المراجعة. Our revision now we start the chapter 1. Now we studied before in chapter 1 the laws and application of laws of how can you write a molecular formula, and you can to convert this molecular formula into molar mass by using the summations of the components in these compounds. If you have elements, now you can to write the elements and write the mass of each components of each element, like O2, and O equals 16. Now the molar mass of O2 equal 2 times 16 equals 32 gram per mole. Now you must divide your times in this chapter. This chapter you studied it before. Now you must apply many problems here to take your breaks. You have assessments our ministry made before, many assessments. You can to obtain this from our sites, Ministry of Education, of Electronic Education, positions in the Ministry of Education sites. Now, quantitative chemistry concepts and calculations depends on how to understanding the chemical measurements and numerical analysis. This is the introductions for my revision for this chapter. Now, monoatomic like sodium, potassium, magnesium, carbon, aluminum, chromium, cadmium, iron. These elements is monoatom. Consists of one atom only. And I have diatomic structures like O2, N2, F2, Cl2, Br2, and we have many examples for these elements in many states, like liquid states or solid states or gaseous states. Now we teach you for these atoms. You have this is molecular example. This is compounds like carbon monoxide CO, carbon dioxide CO2, and water H2O, sodium chloride NaCl. You must accurate calculations for the molar mass of the compounds. You must save the symbol of atoms and the valences of these atoms, and you must save the polyionic groups and the valency again. You must save the elements like oxygen is O, nitrogen N, phosphorus P, and the valency of sodium is monovalent, oxygen is divalent, nitrogen is trivalent, phosphorus is trivalent. Now we have a database. This database, this is useful. You must benefit from this database to write accurate or true, correct molecular formula. I have sulfate SO4 divalent, PO4 phosphate trivalent, aluminate AlO2 monovalent. I have many examples for polyionic groups. Combines polyionic or polyatomic groups like hydroxide, carbonate, sulfate, and nitrate, nitrite, sulfide, bicarbonate, phosphate. Well, what the meaning of this sign in here and above of this polyatomic? This is a negative, -2, -2, -1, -1, -2. This is the balance of these polyatomic groups. Now we have an examples. You must save these examples to write good for a molecular formula, and you can to calculate molar mass for these examples. Okay, writing formulas. How can you write formulas? Like acids begin with hydrogen H, followed by a non-metal anions like HCl, H Br, HIHF. This is acids called hydrochloric acid, HCl, hydrobromic acid, HBr, hydroiodic acid, HI. And we have polyatomic groups, HNO3, nitric acid, H2SO4, sulfuric acid. And we can to form a salt from the collections between cations and anions. You have NH4 by 2SO4 is ammonium sulfate, NH4Cl ammonium chloride, NaNO3 sodium nitrate, NH4 by 2SO4 is ammonium sulfate. This you can to make examples for you to write a correct molecular formula. Now you can help yourself by collect this database of samples of many cations and anions and write a correct molecular formula. Okay, now we transfer for another things like charge rules. What the meaning of charge rules? Sodium Na, potassium K, potassium and sodium in first group alkaline metals and first group 1A. The charge of any compounds is 0. I studied before one in oxidation number. When you write oxidation number, you take this rules. Net charge of any compounds equal to 0. The number of hydrogen atoms in an acid equal the magnitudes of the anions. I means the valency of anions. If you have H2S, its valence equal to -2. H2SO4, now H2, di-basic. This is acid is di-basic. H3BO4. BO4 is trivalent. See, magnitude is -3. Now the number of OH groups of base equal the magnitudes of cations. Again, this sentences we can to focus on this repeating polyatomic groups, writing this to know the components of any acids or salt or basic compounds. Now CaOH by 2. CaOH by 2. CaOH by 2 is calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide. Now we transfer for our concepts. What the meaning of the mole? Review for this. The mole is a unit. Mole is a unit. For what? For a quantity of a substance. Quantity of substance. Now in Avogadro's number, express the number of particles inside one mole. So equal the fixed number, this number equal to 6.02 times the 10 power 23. Any one mole of any substance equal to this value, 6.02 times 10 power 23. Okay. Oh, this is ion molecules and atoms. They have a fixed number. The relationships number of particles n equal to n. This is n is number of moles times this fixed number Na. This is Na equal to Avogadro's number. If you want to calculate number of moles, you must save this rule. Number of mole equal to n. What's the meaning of n? N is the number of particles, and you can divide it in this fixed number. Now you can calculate anything you want from this rules. Okay, my dear. Okay, molar mass. This expressed gram per mole. Gram per mole. Molar mass of 1 mole of a substance. 1 mole of any substance. For a molecule, summations. The summation or sum, this is the same summation of the sum of atomic masses. Example, MOH equal to, this is mass, molar mass of H2 equal to 2 times H plus O, where H equal to 1. Mister, can you help me? The molar mass of hydrogen and O. Now you must know in your paper you have molar mass of H. If any atoms you have, any given number you need it, you will find it in your paper in the last term in the exam paper, because equal to 18 gram per mole. Now we want to calculate 1 mole or molar mass of copper sulfate CuSO4, molar mass equal to CuSO4.5H2O. What the meaning of this? This is the hydrated copper sulfate. Okay, now you must know Cu. Okay, write with me please. Cu equals 63.5, sulfur equal to 32, oxygen equal to 60. Okay, hydrogen equal to 1, oxygen equal to 60. Okay, now you can cancel HCU and write 63.5 plus S equals 32 plus 4 times O, 4 times 16 plus 5 times 18. This is 18 in the molar mass of H2O. Now the result is 249.5 gram per mole. Four elements, any diatomic elements. Now you must multiply into 2 to know why oxygen equal to 32 gram per mole. Okay, now you transfer the another mass mole conversion. What the meaning of mole mass conversion or mass mole conversion? I mean you can to transfer or convert from mass to number of moles, or vice versa. You can have a number of moles, you can to convert number of moles into molar mass or the mass if you want. Now you have an example equal these gas mole volumes. You must know at 0 degree 1 atm, this is pressure, normal pressure, 1 mole gas equal to 22.4 liters. This is called a standard temperature and pressure. Remember me with RTB. What the meaning of RTB? RTB, it is the room temperature and pressure. Room temperature equal 25 degrees centigrade. Now pressure equal 1 atm. So 1 mole gas equal 24. This number, this is the volume of gases at STB here and RTB here. Avogadro's number postulates that equal volumes of different gases at the same temperature and pressure contains equal number of molecules. Why you call that? Because if you have different gases have the same volume, now it have the same number of moles. If the number of moles are equal, so number of molecules are the same. Okay, can I ask you, it is the number of atoms are the same? No. Why? Because I have oxygen O2, maybe ozone O3. I have carbon dioxide CO2. Number of mole of atoms in carbon dioxide is 3. I have phosphorus in vapor state, P4. You have sulfur in vapor state, S2. Now we can express number of molecules, not number of atoms. Okay? Different gases have the same volume, the same condition from T and P equal the same number of the number of molecules. Volume equal to V, STB equal to 2.4 times N, and volume equal to 24 times N, according to the conditions I teach in this or study of this in these types of gases. Calculations from the balanced equation. You must know very important things. If you can't do balance any equations. It's very difficult to solve any problems. Have an equation. You must train yourself to write the good balanced equation. What the meaning of equation is balanced? The number of moles of atoms in the reactants equal the number of moles of products. Now we have balances between the two sides of any equations. This balance keep the results and the reactants balanced in the number, have the same quantities, like CaCO3, calcium carbonate. When you heat calcium carbonate equal to CaO, calcium oxide, plus carbon dioxide. 10 gram calcium carbonate produce 5.6 gram calcium oxide. Why? Because we have molar mass of calcium carbonate is 100. Okay, 100 for half moles equal to 56. I'm sorry, the producers here for this number 40 plus 12 plus 3 times 60. Oh yes, 100. CaOx equal to 56. Carbon dioxide equal to 44. Now you apply the number or the mass of anything, so you know. Okay, produces 5.6 gram CaO, 100 grams, 56 gram. Ratio of these products. Now, mole mass use geometric coefficiency directly in this example. 4NH3 plus 7O2. The product is 4NO2 plus 6H2O. 1 mole of NH3. Okay, 1 mole of this 4. Okay. Now we must review this balance, please. Okay, now we have 12 hydrogen. Okay, 12 hydrogen. We have 4 nitrogen. We have 14 oxygen. 6O, 8 equal 14. Okay, now 1 mole of NH3, 1 mole H2O, 1.5 moles. How can you predict this ratio? Yeah, we have 4 NH3 produce 6 H2O. Don't concentrate this, focus here. 1 mole of NH3 produce 1.5. 4 equals 6. 1 equals 1.5. This is a mathematical relations. Example, 2FeCO4 produce Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. Now converted gram moles via molar masses to get some amounts here. Now you must know the ratio between these components. We have converted given atoms and molecules to moles. This is still geometric ratio. Example, Zn plus 2HCl, ZnCl2, H2 gas, 12.04 times 10 power 23 zinc. This is the number of atoms. Okay, equal to 2 hydrogen. 2 mole of hydrogen is resulted. Now this is 1 mole of Zn. How many moles? 2 moles of hydrogen. 2 equal to 4 equal 4, 5 equal 5. Now we have 12.04 times 10 power 3, 23. Okay, this is easy. You can't do no number of moles here equal 2 moles of Zn. If you divided this number to constant number of Avogadro's number, you will know the number of moles of Zn equal to 2 moles. Okay, 2 moles. Now we can to convert mole to volume, mass to volume in these gases. It's easy to make that by teach the relation or study the relations between these laws. Okay, example KNO3, 2KNO3 produce T2KNO2 plus oxygen. 5 moles of KNO3 produce 2.5 moles of oxygen, equal to what? 56 liters. 56 react at a standard temperature, 60 liters at room temperature. We have another example, 2C2H2 plus 5O2 produce 4 carbon dioxide plus 2H2O. This is given the mass of C2H2, moles oxygen, and the volume of this RTB. What you want to know from this equation, I wanted to study the relations between the product and the reactants, and you want to know the mass or volume, number of particles. Anything you want to obtain from this example is easy because you saved before the relations and saved before the laws in these reactions. Okay, limiting reactants, this is very, very, very important now in this year and next year, inshallah. Okay, definition: the reactions fully consumed. What the meaning of limiting reactants? Limiting reactant, it is the reactants will fully consumes. No reactant remains in this reaction. In this reactants, each thing is consumed totally. It determines products amount, procedures, balance equations, convert all given amounts to moles for volumes are the same as TB. Okay. Now computing that ratio, mole usage moles required by coefficients smallest ratio of limiting reactants. If you have, then example, any carbon plus oxygen is produce carbon dioxide. If you have half moles of carbon and 1 mole of oxygen, which you consumed, write the equation: carbon plus oxygen equal to carbon dioxide. 1 mole of carbon need 1 mole of oxygen. Now I have half mole only of carbon. Okay, all half mole of carbon will consume. Nothing remains in these things. Now we can to obtain 1 mole carbon dioxide. No, half mole of carbon dioxide. So we have carbon is totally consumed and oxygen is remains, and carbon dioxide is released in this reaction equal to half moles. You can to know half times 22.4 liters. In this example, you can to predict the volume equal to 11.2. 11.2. Okay, this is the relations. We have many laws. Core chemical relations is used throughout in here. Acid starts with hydrogen and base starts with ended with hydroxide. This is a summary for this is law. And salts metals like NaCl, NH4Cl, and NO3. This is an example for the last slides I studied here. Law, in this is law in bases, OH groups equals magnitudes of cation charges. If the polyatomic groups repeats, but it parent thesis and add subscribe TaOH by 2, Al2, SO4 by 3. This is a summary for last slides. The atomic elements of normal conditions equal to, like in this example. Now we have in bases groups OH equal magnitudes cations. Now we can write these examples, and now to make training ourselves for this Avogadro's number and calculating in volumes of gases, and you converted mass to moles or molar mass by using this laws. Number of moles equal to mass divided to molar mass. If you want to know the mass, multiply number of mole time molar mass. This is example I teach it for the last slides before. Okay, and we have many examples. I teach it before in last slides. Okay, and the gases I teach it in here equal to 2n times 22.4 liters and STB. If you know the volume or number of moles at RTB, you can convert into volumes if you want, and uses the Avogadro's postulated for calculation of number of particles or number of molecules or number of atoms by converting it to number of moles and number of molecules and number of atoms and the number of ions if you want. Okay, these balance equations, I teach it before. You must teach the relation ratio between the products and the reactants. This is the summary for all things I teach it before, and this question now to apply this question. Now we have many choices. We have 10 questions to know how can you solve any problems. Which anions name formula pairs is incorrect? Incorrect. You must save sulfite SO3, okay, hydroxide OH, okay, phosphate BO4 -3, okay, hydride OH. That is not, hydride is not a polyatomic group, and this is not the true name. This is hydroxide, not hydride. Okay, so D is incorrect. But it is correct answer for these choices. Okay, correct answer choice is D, because hydride is not OH, hydride is H. Okay, this is hydride, H is not OH in this example. Okay, we have another question number 2. The correct name of the compound NH4 by 3PO4 is, okay, you can't use this is essay question. Ammonium phosphate, yeah, ammonium phosphate. This is right? No. Phosphide, not phosphate. This is not true. Okay, number B, ammonium phosphate. Okay, nitrogen phosphate. This is incorrect. Nitrogen phosphide. This is incorrect. So the correct answer is B, ammonium phosphate. It is ammonium and this phosphate. 3, it is the valency of PO4. NH4 is monovalence only. Now we can do ammonium phosphate is NH4 by 3 PO4. Now if the correct answer is B. Correct answer is B. Okay, next 3, calcium plus 2. This is a cation. Ca plus 2 ions, I mean cation, combined with PO4 -3 ions to form the salt. Okay, we have the last example expressed the same. We can't write it. Calcium divalent, okay, 2 times PO4. Phosphate is trivalent, 3 times Ca. So the answer is Ca. 3 BO4 by 2. Now the true answer, the correct answer is here. In this question, you must write it correctly before you choosing, because if you depend on the choices only, you take a incorrect answer. You must write it in essay. Okay, if I want to the charge balance here, you must know the times 3 times here, 3 times here and 2 times here. Okay, this is answer is Ca3BO4 by 2. This is a true answer or a correct answer. I teach it before. Number 4, the formula of magnesium chloride is MgCl. Magnesium chloride, MgCl? No. Why? Because this magnesium is a divalent. is divalent, and magnesium is divalent, and chloride is a monovalent. Okay, so the true answer is MgCl2. You must save the symbol of magnesium and the valency of magnesium, symbol of chloride, and the valency of chloride. So the true answer or correct answer is MgCl2. MgCl2. Choices is here MgCl2. This is B. B is the correct answer because the symbols here is correct for that. Number 5. What is the formula of iron 3 nitrate? Iron Fe. 3, it is the balance is 3. Nitrate NO3. NO3. Monovalent. Okay, so Fe NO3 by 3. Okay, Fe, no, this is incorrect. This is correct. This is correct because the valency of Fe is 3. This is a Roman number. You must know this. I mean 3. This is 3. Okay, Fe NO3 by 3. This is used in writing molecular formula of this. In next session we will take many questions. I focus in next session for solving many example for last assessments. As last assessments, you must training because the assessments is very good here in this year and our site. Okay, which of the following formula is wrong? Okay, ammonium bromide NH4Br. Is this true? Because monovalent ammonium NH4Br bromide. Okay, true. Potassium carbonate K2CO3. Yes, is true because carbonate is divalent, potassium is monovalent, so I write it K2CO3. Barium phosphate is not true. Why? Because barium is divalent and phosphate is trivalent. I will write it Ba3BO4 by 2, not right here. Okay, CuCl, cuprous chloride. You must know the difference between copper chloride and cuprous chloride. Here copper is monovalent. Copper have two valences. Monovalent and divalent. Okay, Mr. Can I do that? I didn't know the valency. Okay, I write here copper 1 chloride. Copper 1, I mean the valency here is 1, not 2. Okay, if you write copper chloride without 1 or 2, okay, I mean that copper 2. Now correct choice is C, is incorrect, but the correct answer is not true. Not true for molecular formula. Okay, number 7. Now in this number 7, the products of calcium reacting with chloride is, okay, this is easy, CaCl2, because divalent, monovalent. So the writing is CaCl2 is calcium chloride. This is the true. Okay, number 8. Which entry is wrong in this list of correct compounds? Al2O3, aluminum oxide. Okay. Calcium nitride. Yes, it's true, right? Fe, this is a divalent. No, that's not true. K2SO4, K2SO3, this is true. This is incorrect. Incorrect formula. It is incorrect formula. So C is true. Not true answer. Now, I mean here it is the true for or correct for these choices, but these choices is writing in incorrect. FeBr2 is correct. Now my choices is C. Number 9. Next, we find a compound MgX2 forms the non-metal X is most likely, okay, magnesium with X2, okay, magnesium divalent. X must be monovalent. MgO, no, this is divalent. MgF2, yes, this is true, that's correct. MgS, this is S2, no. Mg3N2, no, this is the true answer. Next session, inshallah, we will teach many ideas about this molecular formula and calculation and many things about chapter 1. And we finished chapter 1 and its problems. We will take a review in chapter 2 and 3, because chapter and 3 is completely formed with us. Okay, now I finished my session, and thank you for good listening, and you must training to take your practice good, and thank you. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.